Hello and welcome back. My name is Joel Duggan. If you are just tuning in, we are in Satisfactory once again and working on the giant Devastator factory as well as a few other things like trains with hover maglev towers and all kinds of fun stuff. The last time we were streaming Satisfactory, we put in a train line that goes all the way around out here and bypasses this segment now, actually. So we're pretty solid in that, I guess, realm. And we'll go down and take a look at some of the other, I guess, train things that are going on. I need to find my hypertubes. Let's go to this one. So one of my biggest challenges in this build is this horizontal bus that I don't know if I like, and I don't know at this point if I can actually transition into a different way of doing things. I could do a vertical bus down the middle of this. I don't know if I'd like the look of that, though. We'll have to see. So, in the distance, once I get up on this tower, just to get away from the noisy hypertubes, you can see our mainline train that goes all the way around the little purple glowy towers down to there. So one of the things I'd like to try to do today is get all of the trains moving. I do have Scavenger on, so Scavenger is now rolling. I don't know why I have a chainsaw in my hand. Scavenger is now doing its thing. I've shortened the train. There's only 4 cars now. And the first 2 are coal. The third is copper. And the fourth is iron. And I've been trying to understand throughput. You can see the copper and iron here at the tail. And basically, in order to kind of keep your ore flowing, you have to kind of empty it twice as fast as it comes in. The problem is this doesn't stay the same. This should be 600 items per minute all the time. But as you'll see, after this thing unloads, we'll get access to the cart again. And it'll be different. It'll be a different number. Forget the chainsaw, suplex the train. Big head face, your first time watching Satisfactory. Thanks very much. I'm glad you think it looks cool. Right, so now we have more stuff coming in. And that train is off. And it says 600 items per minute. Now we'll see if that stays the whole time. Essentially what's happening is I've got a Mark V belt and a Mark V conveyor left. These are both 780, so we're removing this at 1560 per minute. And then that goes into a bin here. And you can see this one just flickering because we only have one belt coming out. So this is max 780, but really what should be the throughput of the train, there's only one iron node over there. It's a pure iron node, and it's overclocked at 600 per minute. So I've got the same setup over there with a big bin underneath the train station. So in theory, this should be 600 a minute. The tricky part about all of this that I did not realize I was making an error. If you look at one of these cargo cars, they have a really large, some of them have a larger capacity than others. So I shouldn't say that. They have a large, they don't have as much capacity as the container. This is 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 across by 6. So 4,800 will fit in here. This, if you look at it, if you grab the right one, it's not 4,800. This is 9 across with an extra 5. So this is 3,200 max. I don't think in the 3.5 minutes that it takes for Scavenger, the train, to make a round trip, I don't think there's enough time for that 600 per minute belt to fill up a container. Because if you do the math, it's 600 a minute times 3.5 minutes. So it's 2,100. So we're not getting a full 3,200 car. So every time it drops off, or it's not dropping off a full freight car, it's dropping off less than a full freight car. But yet, I never seem to run out. Oh, you've played Satisfactory Big Head Face. That's cool. So 600 items per minute. I want it to stay there. I'm not quite using all of it, but I want to try and sort that out. I've been using the hover pack a lot lately too. What I should do is try to see what's inside that before it gets dumped off. I wish they gave you a little bit more information with trains. I would love to have some sort of device on a belt that would tell you what its actual throughput is. Well, it seems to be saying consistent at 600. It could have been just me needing to reload the game. But I was getting 547. I was getting 780, which shouldn't be possible. So we'll figure it all out. Anyway, to follow all this, just to kind of show you what's happening. This is an absolute mess, and we are going to have to redo the train station because I don't have enough room here. I didn't plan for using these. I didn't know you had to do this. But essentially what this does is whenever the train docks, the train... this stops for about 30 seconds. So there's 30 seconds of absolutely no flow. And by having this big bin being fed faster than you're removing items, then this is your buffer. So that means that your machines and your factory never stops. So for the 30 seconds that these belts stop, this takes over, and the 30 seconds that are happening here, it'll never empty. So we're good. So if we follow this belt, and this is very easy to do because it's a super fast belt, just watch your head. Duck. Duck again. Duck again. So this goes all the way to the iron forge. And so it curves around underneath here. And I like this kind of idea of being able to like duck something down and take it away. The tricky part is that when you do that, you kind of run out of room for other things. So I don't know how exactly I'm going to handle this bus. I don't like these poles either. I really don't like them. So I'm working on some ideas. But so this is our 600 per minute. And that goes all the way up to the top floor here. It goes in that hole, which we can actually follow it. So originally this was 2 belts, but I have it condensed down to 1. So there's, again, all Mark 5. This is 600 a minute. And it gets split here. Mark 4, Mark 4. So these only handle 480. So this gets sent this way, and it gets sent this way. Now, 600 is enough for quite a lot of smelters. A regular smelter will do 30. So you can do, what is that, 20 smelters? Yeah, it can do 20 smelters. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we've got 24 smelters here, but they're all at 25 per minute. We've got them underclocked. So I could change the rate here and consume all of the ore and turn it into ingots at a regular pace. So I'm going to try that now and see if that helps the system flow a little bit better. So basically we've got 600. We have to divide that by 24. So that's... Oh no, so this should be right then. 25. So this is doing 25. So I have that correct then. So all of these should be... There should be no stuttering. That's the only thing that I find so strange. I don't know why these are so slow coming in. Like there should be no stoppage, you know? It should just be like a smooth... In the same way that this is a nice smooth output, you know? Just nice, it's always moving. This should also be moving at the right pace too. I wonder if I've got like just belts that are slowing things down. It shouldn't be the problem. So it only needs 25 per minute, so that's plenty. That's a Mark III. So yeah, I don't know why the belt doesn't quite... Like it looks like it has more on it than it should, you know? Which is not possible. Yeah, outside of just like redoing these belts, I don't know what would be the difference, right? Probably a wrong belt type somewhere. See, the thing is I checked it. Like I in between streams, I checked the whole thing. So there's Mark 25. Oh, I've got a box of shame. Here, Mark 5, Mark 5. Mark 5. I'm still not entirely sure how splitters work. You know, like if they do they split it 50-50 or does they only take as far as the belt goes, right? Because if we've got 600, then our belt numbers are 270 or 480. So these are both 480 belts, but they can't get 480 each, so they shouldn't be over full. Like they should be under full, right? But I'm wondering if it's the buffer, because we don't have 600 coming out of that bin. I'm wondering if, because of the bin, I'm wondering if we have 780 coming out of the bin, right? Because the belt can handle 780. The train says it's bringing in 600 per minute, but with the bin being full like that, then we're at the limit. So maybe I just need to remove one of those extra belts or reduce the speed. That could be the thing too. Like here, I could change the speed of these to be, what's 480 and 40. So if we did 270, then that's not enough. We'd have to do Mark IV for these. I'm just curious, if I just if I take this bin and I just trash everything, it's still going to be filling up faster than it's emptying, right? And it still says 600 items per minute. So maybe that's the thing here, is that we should change these to be a slower belt. And do the same thing down below. Right. So it still should be emptying faster. It's a much slower pace than it was before. Still climbing. Because now it's bringing in 480 times 2, 960. I guess I could try to match it up. What would be the closest? If I've got 270. No. So 480 and 270? $750. So we could do a slightly slower belt here too. Mark 3. This whole station is just so messy. I'm trying to just use this opportunity while it's messy to learn. And so when I do it tidy, it'll be right and I won't have to mess around with anything. All right, so now we've got 750 coming in here. So it should fill up a lot slower. But this is still going to be pulling like the full 780. Right? There's no way to stop it from pulling 780. So yeah, I don't really know how people balance their factories with trains. I find it, you just end up with more than you need. You know, I mean, I could use a smart splitter and send stuff to overflow and just trash it, but like that seems not cheaty, but it seems like a very easy way out of just otherwise having this thing move the way they want. See, this is what I thought it was going to look like. I thought it was going to look like this. Just a nice... I knew it wouldn't be full because it's a, you know, there's not enough to fill up the belts. But anyway, so at least I know the math on the the smelters is right. So 25 per minute. We've got 6, 12, 24. So I can adjust that on my spreadsheet. Where did it go? So this is coming from the scavenger, Green Valley. Yeah. So that's working. So it's not overkill. So I've got temporary load balancing. So all of this is actually wrong. 25 ore in, 25 ingots out. And then I just did the math wrong here. So this is 600 ingots. And that is now going... Right now it's going to an awesome sink. So if I pop that down over here, all of the iron currently being produced into ingots, or it's just getting ground into dust just to keep the belts flowing and for me to know what the power draw is. But everything here looks like it's working at 100%. And this was all designed before I, you know, started hiding things in walls. So all of these outputs are temporary. We're going to have to find a way to put those somewheres. And this is actually going to be a bay of machines that we're going to make things with. So that's one of the trains that's back up and running. The other one is Bone Crusher. And the problem with Bone Crusher... Actually, I should take a hypertube. Good idea to use a test station? Yeah, I thought so. So over here, we've got the Bone Crusher Quartz facility, and basically what happened was I parked my construction train, and this whole place got filled up with plates, which is not good. What we want is quartz. And so what I thought I would do, I started with this one little marked foundation here, is I thought we would take some of this design. I kind of like the look of this part here, and the silica has got to go upstairs anyway, so it makes no sense to put the output of these down. I like seeing the output. So the inputs, I thought, are very messy. This is all kind of like a pain in the butt. And by moving the inputs downstairs like this, we now have floor holes, which we didn't have when we built this factory before. So now we can do a nice tight little connection like this, not have to move any of this stuff in the middle, and just have to move some of this stuff downstairs. But you can see what happened. Like my construction pieces got all filled into the system. So to get Bone Crusher up and running, we need to fix this. And this is key because this is how our crystal oscillator factory is working, because it's got all the things right now. We've got copper wire, we've got plates. All of this thing is going this way, but the crystal oscillators on the top floor, they need quartz, and we're not sending it because of my mistake. So our quartz and crystal oscillators, they're full, but we're not making any more because this doesn't have enough crystal. So that's the next kind of thing to kind of unlock and get going. I also don't know if I want to keep this train track. I'm on the fence about whether I want to put trains down the sides or whether I want to put trains down the middle. Either way, I need to figure out what I'm going to do about this bus. The cool thing about it is that we've got lots of room underneath it. So like if we need to go deeper, we can absolutely go deeper. The one problem is that rock. And I don't know why I decided to build it directly over that rock. But here we are. I thought that I could fit everything that I wanted horizontally here. But if I want to pull things down, the problem is that splitters and vertical lifts, they just take up so much space. So like if I wanted to put a splitter on this thing, right? And then I wanted to put a lift, like it, I know you can get them closer, but like that's a huge amount of space that then pulls out belt space, right? So you can't just do that. So the best way to do it is to like lower the belt and take it off to the side somewhere. I just don't like these weird poles. And this section here is what goes over this rock. So if we look at the rock, like we're pretty tight in here. But then after that, we could dip down and have this whole thing just be parts, you know? So we could have a vertical bus down here. Maybe that's the key, is to have this be like maybe the top of two vertical buses, and then we could have the center being where we pull everything down. But then like, how do you get something out of the middle lane? You know, like it becomes a real problem. I really wanted to do something like what I see BL Andrew does in his playthroughs, where he has just like lines and lines and lines and stuff, but I don't know if it's going to be possible. And then Mixmasters is the last station that has to get going, and that's going to be the bauxite for aluminum. And I have no idea whether the throughput on this is accurate, but we're doing 3 cars of I think bauxite is the only thing that this thing grabs. Bauxite, bauxite, bauxite. We're going to have to figure out like the top. We have to go back up to the bauxite station. Oh, do I not have bauxite? Thought I had a bauxite color. Huh. Okay. Do I not have one on the map? Very similar to copper. I do like that you can do custom colors. Edit. I think he'd be better looking purple. Yeah, sure. So right now, I don't know what the throughput is on this. And it's not, this one is not going through, it's not going through any buffers here. I might have it going through buffers at the other station, but we have to go check that out. And I'm pretty sure we're connected, but we're going to have to go up there manually, so we might as well check that now. What other custom colors do you need beyond pink? Well, there's that. So we can use part of our new trunk, our new main line, to get up to the bauxite station. Oh no! Destroyed. Death. I did not even see that train coming. The first time I've done that, I think, in the game. E to re-rail. And E to re-rail. It's not that big of a deal. It's a pain when you, let's just go out here briefly. It's a pain when you, are not around to stop it. BL Andrew has made it up to 10 frames per second. Has he really? So this might mess up our production here, but turn on self-driving. I don't know why I've got a fourth car on this. I'm surprised. We'll have to see. So I'll just use Bone Crusher here to turn around. It's cool that they make it so easy to be able to realign the trains. Like, it would be an inventory mess if you had to, like, rebuild everything. You'd never have enough space in your inventory for all the items. You'd have boxes everywhere. Still a tricky intersection to get through manually. I'm looking forward to making a new, larger version for that. I do have boxes everywhere. That's fair. That's fair. So we're going to be using the connection that we made at the end of the last stream up here on the left. Yep. I'm going to go that way. Now I don't have any other block signals up here because I haven't needed them. Because it's only a single rail. So this is all one block. Because I don't want any trains coming up here by accident. If we ever came up here, we'd have to travel light. But there are some resources up here I'd like to collect. So this will eventually become a two-lane branch. proper. I have to look up the proper terminology. And I may look for a much more direct route that doesn't have trees everywhere. All this has been overgrown since we made this track ages ago. I really need to change the render distance on my foliage. It looks really gross until you're right on top of it. This track took forever to lay down. Yeah, it's a very pretty area. I think it's just called the Red Forest. So there's the train station, and from the look of it, it does look like it has a lot of bins and stuff out the front of it. This was all meant to be very industrial, not very polished or finished. It was just meant to do a job. So we're not going to go all the way in just yet. So the way to remember, or the way to figure out how many cars you need, I don't remember the math on this, but yeah, we do have 4 cars. We have to figure out the time it takes for a round trip as well. So we've got several bauxite mines. They are kind of scattered around. You can see there's one there, overclocked to 150, overclocked to 300. There's one way over there, overclocked to 300. And there's one more way over here that's overclocked to 600. Pure, normal, normal, and impure. And then I've got another bunch of stuff here that all needs to get removed. Because they were beacons and now they are just non-existent. So I'm probably going to use signs here to just label a few things. So what does this say? 450, 600, and 300. So 450 is probably the combination of the impure and the 300 there. That is a Mark IV belt. I would say there's where they combine right there. Thankfully, there is power everywhere. So we are good there. Yep, that's obviously this guy right up there. So what I've been doing is I've been using the spreadsheet to kind of track this stuff. But I'll be able to just kind of like do a mental check on these. So we are pumping in, oh geez. Pumping in all the extra, what are they called? Power shards? Don't have any. This is not doing anything. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Why do we have a 4th? Because this is going to be jammed full. So I'm really only bringing in 3 cars. I guess it's just depending on what the transfer rate is. So is this going to be accurate? This is 131, 311, And 114. That doesn't seem right. Yeah, the lava spitting fire donkey is not my favorite. Right. Well, I said that this was the 450 one, right? So this is 450 because that combines the impure at 150 and the normal at 300. So we can use at least some signs here so we don't have to keep on rethinking this particular situation. So we'll just go bauxite. I'm surprised that they're not in alphabetical order. So we'll go impure, overclocked, 150 per minute. I always want to click over here and type over there. Normal overclocked to 300 per minute. So this is the same idea. You've got two output belts that are unloading this faster. And this is Mark 5. So really we don't need a Mark 5 there. It's 450. So 270 should do it. Right? That's over 500. Although I don't know why you'd slow down your production, but so we'll do change the image. So we know what's going on there. And then this one, this is an old beacon. And of course, 600 and 300. So this should be 600. That's all Mark 5 stuff. And you're coming in from way the heck over here. I remember doing all these. All Mark 5. The trees sway as if the wind's taking them. Yeah, and then the smaller bushes shake like something creepy crawly is going through them. It's not. It's interesting. These are all Mark 5, so we've not made any mistakes out here. I hope this is okay for people. You know, me double checking some older builds just to make sure that all the work that we're doing down at Devastator is not being screwed up by the fact that I've got, you know, incorrect numbers. Nope, 600. That's a pure node, so that's good. We can take the belt back. Much faster. I gotta remember to start installing these around the base just to move around. Alright, so that is 600 indeed. Ready to go. So we'll just do another one of these. Two Devastator and Arrow. And this is a pure node overclocked to 600 per minute. And this, I think, was another normal node. That. Arrow. And then 300 per minute to Devastator. Oops. And then I just have to double check this one. 4. Yes, so Mark 4 is the right belt. All right, this is the one that we drove by on the way in. I do like these towers. They don't look very much like Transformer type builds, but they're kind of fun industrial looking towers if you want to see like wires everywhere. I think one of the things I might try when Satisfactory hits 1.0 is a playthrough where I just kind of like, no particular theme, I just kind of build really fun and decorative and just kind of do interesting stuff. Oh, friends. No thank you. We'll have to get rid of this. Ooh, he packs a punch. Oh, there's more. Crap. They're a little bit easier when you're in the air. 300 per minute, that's all I needed to know. Is the shenanigans default on the sign thing? Yes, that's the default sign for this for the thing. It is. All right, so this is again too much belt. So it should be 3 270 and 120. That does not get us 300, right? That's 290. Or, yeah. 390. I need... Wait a minute. Yeah. 270. This is a 300, so I can do 270 and 60. That'll handle the 300 coming in. No problem. This is 600, and so we need... 480 and 120, right? Yeah, 480. So Mark 4 and Mark 2. And then this single belt will handle, because the miner is only putting out 600, so this doesn't matter. And then again, this is 450. We've got Mark 3, 270. So you kind of have to have 270 and 270 for that one. Okay. Well, that's the double check on that. It's powered. Everything seems to be working. I don't know why I have a 4th. Is there something else out here that I might want to bring back? And there's coal, I guess. But, like, I don't know why I would want... I don't know why I would want to bring in anything else from out here. We do have... I don't know if I have other resources out here. No, not that I've discovered. Okay. Well, I guess we'll just leave the fourth car. It's empty anyway. So I guess the thing that we need to test now is to make sure that this can actually do the auto drive stuff. So we've got the Red Forest, which is where we are now, and then Mixmaster Station. Next stop is Mixmaster Station. Let's do, I'll just switch this around so we stop at the Red Forest first and fill up. I think we're full anyway. Well, if it's moving, then it should have all the information it needs. As I mentioned, this is one single block of track at the moment because I don't want any other trains other than this one coming up here. And cars are full, so we're not going to be worried about that. How long does it dock? There we go. So I'll time this off stream. I'll ride it with a stopwatch and kind of figure out what the round trip is. But yeah, I'm definitely seeing, you know, we'll have to be, I really probably won't bother timing the round trip until I figure out if I'm going to keep the track the way that it is. Because if we start putting in that main train line, there might be ways like to my right here over the lake or other destinations that we could make it an easier connection, you know, than what we have currently. You know, like could we go down over the cliff here? You know, there might be other ways. Now that we're using these hover pads to like not have to run the train tracks all along the ground like this. It's sort of interesting visually, but there's a lot of clipping and it's not the best. Take care, Kel. Thanks so much for being here. Sorry you're not feeling well. Get some rest. I appreciate that you're here so often. Yeah, like I feel like we're taking kind of like a long way. We could go probably up that way somehow. Now I'm not driving, so if we run into the other train, the block signals should do what they're supposed to do. We're on the right side of the track. That's good. Ah, so we're slowing down because there's a train in the intersection. That's good. So we'll wait for him to move, and then we'll probably enter. Or not. Oh, we had to come to a complete stop. That's weird. I wonder if my block is too big. Huh. So this is just going to go all the way down to the last station. So I'm going to turn off the self-driving once we get here. I wish they gave you on the train timetable. I wish it gave you the time it took right? Like, I feel like that's something that they should have, you know, displayed. Yeah. Okay. So that works. That's good. So that tests the main line that we did last stream. So that's working. So the only other train that's not running right now is Bone Crusher. And this is the Quartz train. This is the one with the pink and a bunch of other stuff. And there's no point in running that until we get our Quartz factory sorted. So I can do a couple of different things today. We can continue with adding in a little bit more of the mainline train rail, or I can get that Quartz factory sorted. And I think for the sake of how quick that might be, I think I might want to work on the Quartz factory just to kind of get it done. So I am going to step away briefly, take my normal stream break. When I come back, we will... I think we'll get underneath the hood on that Quartz factory and try to at least get some of it rolling so that all of our other production will start running and we can stop pushing stuff into awesome sinks and maybe start getting more parts on the go. Because I have to start planning. I've got like end game parts or mid-tier parts and early game. I have no like early mid-game parts being built here, so we need to sort that out ASAP. But you can see in the distance where I've got a plan for taking the main rail up the valley. So I want to see if I can duck under this waterfall and connect over to here. So that could be one potential thing we do. But we'll take a look at the factory because it's probably going to be dark shortly after I get back from my break. So I will skip the break train for now. And when we come back, we'll work on some more factory stuff. Hold on to your nuggets. Back in just a few minutes. Alright, let's pop down and take a look and see. I guess first I could go over to my construction train. I've got some stuff that needs to come out of my inventory. I always forget how slow the hover pack is when you're in midair. Alright, we can get rid of that stuff. I don't even want to keep that. That can go in there. That's garbage. We're going to need to free up some space because we're going to be taking stuff off of old belts. I'll fill that up and put that back. Cable. Oop, autosave. I realized too that I'm at the limit for my train length to not clip into other trains. I mean, the block signals would keep it from actually crashing, but yeah, we have to be careful. I don't need all that concrete, and I certainly don't need all of these. That should be good. I got that, and I got that. Yeah, see, like another car, and we'd be into the block. So what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So something that I didn't realize I saw in another tip video watching stuff about trains is that make sure that when you have your blocks in general out on your main line, that your blocks are longer than your longest train. Otherwise, your longest train is going to take up 2 blocks at a time, which I thought was a good point. Alright, let's switch to the jetpack just because it's a lot faster to get around. So we're going to the Quartz factory, which is going to be on the south side, over that way. You much prefer the slow descent with the hover pack? Yeah, that's fair. I wish that we'd have like bypass networks for... I want to have like junctions with hypertubes. Hypertubes are awesome, but you have to usually take the long way around. Oh, I missed. Wrong factory. That's copper. I want the quartz one. There we go. Simrian, hello. I'm a little behind on your posts on our Discord, but looks like you've got some really cool builds. In Satisfactory. Alright, so first things first, I think we should just mark out where we're going to need all of our splitters and stuff. So what's happened here, I think, as a quick review, is I'm going to switch back to the hover pack too. Oh no, wait a minute. We don't have any power here. That's right. So I've got a belt issue, and I need to resolve it. And because I'm going to have to rip out these belts, I thought I'd build some of them under the ground to help this have a cleaner look to the factory. So I'm going to mark a couple of these so we know where we are. There's that one, that one. Everything else here is fine. And then that's the last one as well. And then over here, this is the end. Yeah, of course. I'm looking forward to seeing more. Do you have any videos, Simrian? Like, do you stream at all? because it would be cool to see it all in person. Like, the screenshots are one thing in this game, but I find that so much of what I like about Satisfactory is actually seeing how people have laid things out. All right, so the first step is going to be to move all of the inputs to the machines underground. And the easiest thing to do that right now is going to be using these floor holes. And they're right on the seam. And it's not going to much matter because I'm going to change the floor in here to be probably concrete. So, again, we didn't have concrete when I built this place. And because everything is a constructor, and I'm pretty sure that I've taken the time to lay everything out in the middle of every foundation, all we have to do is just run underneath and put all the floor holes in their spots. So we just grab... I guess I should just find it in my hotbar. I guess maybe it existed before I made the hotbars. Quite possible. Let's go with... We'll put it on number 8, I guess. So it's just going to be a matter of making sure it's in the middle, which is there. Deja vu to all the under the ground stuff we did on Megatron. Hooking up all the pipes for the fuel gens. There's a white one here. I don't know what that's for. But this is the last. Then there's a gap. And then we just keep on going. Oh, do I want to keep this as a 2 meter foundation? I guess I should have checked that first. I guess I do. It's easy to change if we don't want to. Any thoughts or feelings from the chat as to whether I should change these to 1 meter foundations instead of having them be 2? It would mean a higher ceiling, but like it doesn't really matter. It's not like we're looking down here. You don't have considered making one, but my FPS single player is sub 20. Oh yeah, no, that wouldn't be a very good video experience. Oh, that's really cool that the server is open. That's a neat idea. I would for anybody in my community that wants like blueprints or stuff like that, I'd make this save and I'd make the blueprints available to patrons, I think. I'd like to get it to a point where it's working, probably. Yeah, I think I would just be making work for myself if I changed the ceiling, so we'll leave it the way that it is. I'm going to double check this one just to make sure. Yep. It's good. So this room is going to be able to be thinner too, which is nice because we're kind of running out of room in the aluminum factory, and I'd like to have some more buffer space. Learned a lot by building the Metroplex build, and having extra wall cavity space and all kinds of stuff has really helped me on that build. So I think for this, we'll be doing what we can to, I guess, again, similar to our Minecraft stream earlier, renovate and keep things relatively orderly between the walls. I still want to see some stuff, but not all of the belts all of the time. And I really want to hide power. I really wish they would give us options to have floor power or something. I really don't like all the ways we have to hang up power from the walls. All right, so that's the last one. Then after that, we just put the splitters in the middle of the floor, like that. Comes in from this way, I think. Yeah, our inputs are here. So this is the quartz belt. I think there's two. I don't know why there's two. We'll have room to split them. And then they kind of go up and over in there and in there. That was going in here. And the way that I had this, for people that are wondering why there's an extra belt, this is like a reverse manifold. So your source would come in here and it would get split. Half of it would go this way and the other half would go straight down to the very, very end of the whole thing. And start filling this from the back, right? And it looks cool, but it's a little bit noisy in terms of just the visuals. So we're still going to do this, I think. We're just going to do it downstairs. And we can do it all on the... We don't have to be... well, we can hang stuff from the ceiling downstairs. So we can do things like that that won't get in our way. So that should be cool. For floors, I extensively use 1 meter foundations. Yeah, most of the time I do as well. In Devastator, I wanted it to feel beefy, so I've been trying to use the heavier ones. But as I get into higher floors, we'll see what I end up doing. All right, so if this is going to be the main line, then I may want to figure out where the other line is going to be. And this is where the ceiling may or may not be a good idea. Because that, of course, does not line up with one of those. That won't show up, I don't think. I don't think that sticks through. No. But that's the kind of thing we could avoid if we had a 1 meter foundation. Right? See, then this probably lines up picture perfect with that, right? I've never used these before. I'm new to the ceiling. Isn't that annoying? Yeah, that's a pain. You tend to use 1 meter for floors and 4 meter for actual foundations and supports. Yeah, that makes sense. 1 meter of concrete is a lot. Oh, totally. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. For the transformer stuff that I do, I tend to want to have it be a little bit better. I guess we could just... Nah, I don't know. I'm new to the ceiling. Being as tall as you are. I don't believe that. I wish we could change these in place, but we can't. Alright, let's think about where the input's going to come in. So we could easily drop this down here. These stairs may or may not be here. So there's a good chance this is where the input's going to come in. And we don't have to worry about the output. This is why I did all this work on the map, because now I can check to see how much quartz is actually coming into this particular factory. 600 and 600, so there's 1200 going in to here. What do we need? 21. Are they all doing silica? I think I checked this last time. Uh, 1200 quartz, belt error, 40 constructors, quartz, crystal, and silica. Silica is 1400 coming out. What does it need, though? I feel like the quartz crystal is being made upstairs. So we need quartz. It's 21. Yep, 21 and 35. So that's going in and out. And then our silica, that's probably 35 times 40, right? 1400, correct. Okay. So we know that's the output. So then it's just a matter of the input required is going to be 21 times 40. $840. So we definitely need 2 lines. Definitely need 2 lines. We can't just have the one. Okay, well that's good to know. Because this was working previously, I imagine it was already all balanced out. Simrian subscribing at tier 1. 7 months. Thanks so much, Simrian. I really appreciate the support. And I'm really glad that you're participating in the Discord and finding some places to share your Satisfactory stuff. That's great. I also want to figure out where the power is going to be on these guys. Right now, it's all ceiling, and I don't like it. Dislike immensely. So, we'll move that underground too. I'll disconnect this first guy, which will disconnect everybody, unfortunately. And if I was a power pole or a power node, where would I be if I was straight up and down? I'd say that's probably our best bet. And that usually shows through, but do that, and then right on the seam seems like to be the straight way to do it. Oh, that's going to be... yeah, that's not going to work very well. I'd probably want to do something central. Where's the middle here? Right, that's the middle. I'm very likely going to have to redo these floor holes. Right, so then this would come over here. Whoops. I know I've said this before, but I always find it very difficult to line things up in this game. I think it's just the 3D nature of building that becomes very difficult. So we could run that back and get power from the switch here. And then run the power right down the middle. And that would not interfere with the rest of the machines and belts and things. And then... it's really tough to position things on the ceiling. Yeah, I agree. I was saying just the other day, Simrian, on stream, what I would love is one of these textures, if it was like the Blueprint Designer. If we had like an 8x8 1 meter grid texture that we could paint everything, like use it as like a temporary construction thing, then you'd be able to see exactly where you're lining up with, you know, like rather than like lining up at like the middle of this space or the on this line or halfway between this line and that line. It would be so much easier to just have like straight up 8x8 grids, you know, like as just a temporary thing, you know, have like one of the textures be like that. Be a great mod. Be a great mod. Very useful. So I guess I basically just want to make sure that I'm keeping my output here and that the output has to go, the silica has to go upstairs. So I think it's going to be a cool visual to have our silica traveling up here like that. So I don't think I'm going to be shooting myself in the foot by running my power down the middle underneath here. I think I should be okay. So I think, unfortunately, I am going to want to do the 1 meter ceilings just because of how tidy this becomes. Yeah. I think that's probably the way to go. Alright, well, if we're replacing everything, then we might as well replace it with the right material. I'll leave the ones that are colored so I know where they are. Really hard at night down here. Apologize. Very flashy and glary and all kinds of nonsense. Do I want this to be this white? Maybe I don't. Let's go back to our regular concrete. We might end up changing it later anyway. And it doesn't have to be the whole floor. I just think I want to do this section. Again, saving us some time by not redoing everything. Oh, I wasn't supposed to delete those, was I? At least with zooping, it's not like Minecraft, and it is a lot easier to just fix mistakes. Color quickly, just to like do the end bits. Easier to see the middle on these too. There's a way to do like a shift control where you only delete this, like the objects of the same type. I don't remember what that command is like. Fix this, remove that. And so this is going to be Mark 1. Should be able to clearly see everything there. And, oh, that's going to be facing the wrong way. I need this splitter to be facing the other way around. For the first one, anyway. Input is going to come in that way. And then this is going to come around this way. And that is going to be, oh gosh, 21 times 20 to 10. I probably already did the math on this. I guess we'll just use the fastest belt to get it down to the back. So that should be plenty. And then this is going to be the input coming in from outside. Probably right there. Which I guess we could put up on the ceiling too if we wanted to. Control click plus sweep the mouse. In the options key bindings, toggle specified multi select dismantle. Wow. Cool, thanks. Options key bindings. Toggle photo mode. Toggle specified multi select dismantle. Thumb button on the mouse. Okay. Nope, doesn't work. Maybe it's the other thumb button? Yep. Not a big deal. So floor holes again, because I was impatient. Does remind me a lot of the under the ground stuff I did in Metroplex as well. But with Metroplex, I did not give myself 8 meters. I only gave myself 4, and it was unpleasant to be under the floor that whole time doing things like this, which is like right next to your face. I remember getting kind of motion sick because everything was so close. Now I know I've done one extra, and that's fine. I'll delete that upstairs. It might even show up here. Yeah, right there. Not needed. Do that again. Originally went for an 8 meter, then switched to a 4 meter logistics floor, then switched back to 8 meter. Definitely 4 meters too snug. Yeah, to me it was just not comfortable. It wasn't fun. I think that's the thing. It was that it wasn't fun. All right, so now we have a splitter, but we need to make sure that the splitter is receiving from the right. Now this should just line up very easily. Now this, I gotta check upstairs because we did something very specific here. Right, so this was taking output, right, overflow. So it was overflow was going upstairs. So I may have to do something specific here with a smart splitter. I'll place it down. And then we'll figure out how we want to get things upstairs afterwards. Because my quartz stuff, I'm not sure if I showed this on the spreadsheet, but I don't know if I have the temp quartz marked down here. Maybe I don't. Yeah, I guess I don't have it written down. I didn't get that far because this just ended right here. It's like, well, I can't get any farther than that with it. Up here. Oh, there's a ladder. Past Joel was thinking. So there's a bunch of constructors up here, and they're making the quartz crystal, but it's just the overflow, and I think it's just going into a box. I don't think I was bringing it anywhere. Yeah, there's no... Oh, wait a minute. Right, okay, this is going over to crystal oscillators. But this was like, I just needed crystal oscillators probably for the power plant. And so I was just kind of quick and dirty making a bunch of stuff. I remember this. So this needs to be fixed and turned into a proper floor. But I'm not sure exactly how that's going to happen quite yet. So we have to make sure we're making enough silica for aluminum. And then after that, I can worry about quartz crystal. I also have 2 quartz nodes that I know of that I have not tapped into here in caves, and they're close, like they're within our biome, so we can probably either belt those or somehow bring them over. Probably belt, because there's a big belt system here, so we could probably just bring those around. So that should be fairly straightforward. Did I already do this? Right. It's splitter. Now, splitter here has to be facing the other way. Right? That's the input. Yeah. So I have another smart splitter at the end here. Like that. And then these guys are all going this way. I just hope that this idea of running along the ceiling is going to be a problem later when I try to get this stuff out and upstairs. Here I was just running it up into this thing, but we could probably do it a little bit tidier. Probably with some floor holes in this particular thing. I like the control that you get more when you do logistics floors, because then you can choose what to see and what not to see, which is nice. If there was enough interest, would you consider setting up a Satisfactory server again for supporters to play on? Yeah, Yeah, we could make that like a Patreon goal or something. I think that's totally doable. All right, now this is going to be the tricky part. Is it like right next to this? Yeah, it's one tick over. All right, this will be a little bit easier then. Power is going to look so much better. I remember doing this with assemblers in the Metroplex Grassy Fields playthrough, and it looked so much nicer. Anybody that plays Satisfactory, what would you do for, like, what would you do for a power solution? I feel like we need one. Like, just, I'm not sure whether it's like I want the cables to be tight or whether I just want a way to, like, a different way to do cables is what or power management. Oh no, I don't mean oh, Simran, have you seen my diluted fuel power plant? I've got 60,000 megawatts coming in from diluted fuel. Yeah, I mean power. I mean, what would be an alternative to what, like, this nonsense? That's what I'm trying to think of. This just goes right on the middle line. I just have to line these up here. Oh, I guess it's one tick over from. All right, that's a little bit easier. I assume just standing up and shouting I have the power is not the solution. Probably not. It'd be funny. I find this stuff harder to stream. Like, it's hard to, you know, make these repetitive tasks like super engaging. I guess when you're starting to build at scale, and I will be adding more blueprints to my repertoire, then it probably gets a lot easier, right? Because then you could do, like, if this is how you want to do your constructor setups, you can do them all at once, right? Did I make these straight? Please tell me I made these straight. Yes. I think a solution for power would be having a powered floor. The problem is that, of course, you'd have to like the look of the powered floor. If you don't like the look of the powered floor, then that doesn't help you. But I just find it strange that they got like hypertubes and all this crazy, you know, fluid dynamics sort of in the game, and yet we're still stuck like string and wires. I feel like there could be a lot more. Normally I hook up power last, and I always curse myself for doing it, so I'm trying to make sure I do this in the most efficient way possible, where I'm not like trying to look around the lift to grab the power, you know? But I've seen some people make some really cool like templates for bridges in blueprints where they do like bridge segments, and then they've got the power already strung, and so all you have to do is just connect your segments every once in a while to keep your power going, and so it reduces this repetitive stuff by like 80%. Oh, that's already done. All right, so that should be power ready for those. Probably best to actually connect them now. Which means removing all of the top parts here. I guess we'll remove the power lines because I don't want to remove the power for the lights just yet. I may have to work out another way to do the lights. We'll just do the top lines here. They want power that way. Originally, apparently, you could daisy chain power between machines. Yeah, see, that would be nice. Daisy chaining machines would be nice. I just want there to be more control. If I'm going to have to wire everything, I really wish that we could do... Have you seen it in Minecraft where there's like conduits in modded Minecraft where like you can like snake redstone up a wall and it just looks like a square box, like it looks like a square cable. That I think would be fine. You know, if we could house it, you know, like if we could run it up the wall, color it, you know, color code your wires. I think that would be better. I think for me it's the limited snapping. It's the fact that these things are never straight. They're as straight as you can make them, but they're always a little crooked, and that drives me nuts. So I'm going to remove this part here. What are you from? Oh, I guess you don't do anything. Must have been an old temporary thing. See, at least here I can just send the power straight down and it looks okay, but it still clips through. Most of it will be hidden by, you know, lifts and things. But like it's better than having the wire go up to the ceiling, I think. So this is where I would really like to have some power in here so I can hover around. And somewhere the power is shut off. That's lights. Power. Power, where do you come from? Oh, there's the power there. See, this is all done before switches. That looks connected to me. That looks connected. How do I not have any power in here? Oh, do you not have a... I think you are the lonely power node. My guess is... There's the 60,000. Yep, I'd say that this was... Hey, let there be light. No more flashlight. And also, hover pack. Alright, so this should be pretty easy. I can just... Oh, is he already hooked up? He's already hooked up. Nah, that's better. When I don't get my head stuck on something. I guess I still need the flashlight down here. I'm not sure what you're making if you've got the wrong stuff going in, Mr. Constructor. Nope, I want this. I'm so used to having a different daisy chain for power underneath everything, so this is kind of a fun test and diversion for what I normally do. I believe you do not have power because you had not held up the sword of power. Yeah, there's that too. That's still a sore spot for me. Kevin Smith's terrible He-Man cartoon. I guess there's a new version, a new season of the good Netflix He-Man's cartoon, but I unsubscribed for Netflix for the next little while. Did this already done? That's already done. So now, still no power. That's fine. I just have to bring the main power in. And I will do some fancy rigging with a switch at some point. But for now, let's just go straight down here. Oh, that's weird. Odd that they put it on the seams. I'd want it in the middle, but whatever. Still no power. Oh, there we go. Aha! Victory is mine. Okay, so now all we have to do, we know that we've got 1,400 coming in. Splitters generally split evenly. I need to go backtrack just quickly to make sure that I know what these belts are and where they're coming in. So it looks like they're all here on the left. Obviously they're empty because we don't have any, the train's not running right now. And I don't know if I've disconnected them because I thought there was quartz in the train, but maybe there's not. I might have emptied the entire train just because of the errors that we were getting. And where's Bone Crusher? Bone Crusher's way over there. So all of this end of things will eventually change. Oh, did I just not? Yeah, they're totally disconnected. I'm assuming that's them there. There is quartz in here, so I don't want to hook it up right this second. But that's the belts. And I'm guessing that there's 2 bins because I needed 2 bins in order to fill the 1,200 coming in. Because it's a longer round trip. 1,200 per minute. And there's 3,200 in a train car. So 3,200 Divided by 600 is what, 8? No, 5. 5.3. So it would need 5.3 minutes to fill up one bin. I feel like that's probably longer than 5 minutes. HIAG, a high impedance air gap? Season 2 of the Kevin Smith thing is a dumpster fire. It's terrible. I watched one episode and it was just cringy. No, I'm talking about the other He-Man show. There's one that looks like Toy Story. It's CG and it's very cartoony. It's aimed at younger kids, but I still like it. So Simrian, how do you calculate your throughput? Because I'm having trouble. Like, I mean, I understand like time round trip versus, you know, what you're collecting, but my understanding is that if you're mining 1200 per minute, then you're never going to have more than 1200 per minute on your throughput, right? Like that's, and all you need to do is make sure you have enough train cars to capture so that your miners don't get backed up while they're waiting for the train. As long as the miners are always moving, I base all my factories on a 780 belt, 2 per factory. Oh, interesting. So you just max out the belt. Correct, as in like 1200 is my max? Alright. We'll just follow these. This is always fun. Except for when you get almost sucked down a conveyor lift. Not fun. Okay. These two go this way. They scooch. We duck. I think they're still on top of each other. Yeah. I believe this is the... That's your delivery rate, which is different than your throughput, right? Your delivery rate should be the same as your mining rate, correct? And this is where I run into trouble with these horizontal... Yeah, okay. So that's the 2 belts coming in there. So that's the right way. So I'm trying not to reinvent the wheel here. This can just disappear. And our input is actually just going to be a little bit over there. I like the idea of seeing what we've got going into the building coming in here. And then I've got these cavity walls so I can just kind of snake them around a little bit as I see fit. That, I think, is outside. It is. Do I care that that is outside is the next question. I sort of made it symmetrical. I don't particularly like this thing, so I'll just snake it for now. I can always change it later. So let's go with, we'll go down first. So this is a Mark V. Oh, Cosmic, thank you. Appreciate the break reminder. We will do that as a good streamer. Alright, so that is one set of quartz coming in, and then we'll have to hook up the rest. Let's see if I can't grab a break train. I don't remember where they are, but I can always just build one. That seems to be the fun part. Nice to see materials moving. Now my factories are all black boxes. Material in and product out. Yeah. I like to see the things move around. I like to select the things that I see moving around. Like, seeing plates doesn't really do anything for me, but seeing stuff like quartz or like big spools of wire I find very fun. What am I doing? I want a train. Nope. Tab. Timetable. Train name. Cosmic Floof. Do. And timetable. Let's go to Megatron. We'll go to Bone Crusher Station. Rinse and repeat. Cool. Folks, I take a break once an hour. You're probably used to it by now. You get to ride the break train. Hopefully we'll see no crashes. I'll be back in about 5 or 6 minutes. I chose the wrong bone crusher station. Whoops. It's alright. We need to be back here anyway. Do trains crash? Yeah, McScrewgunn, they do. We crashed earlier. I manually ran into another train by accident. Common Rat, hello, welcome in. You gotta remember that we gotta go to the second stop. No, not that one. A little bit too close together when you're going that fast. Planting your potatoes? I feel like a lot of people are out gardening today. Alright, so now we know that we've got 600 coming in on this line. And it's going to be split into 300 and 300. So here's a quick question, Simrian. If I've got a splitter here, and it's pulling 60 in there, or really as many as the machine wants, because it's 21. If I put this as a Mark IV, is it splitting this in half? Or is it pulling what the belt is maxed out for? I've never understood that. I mean, it's a manifold, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just curious. So 480. Yeah, I guess I'm doing an overflow thing here, which is not the best. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Or we could go to 5. Does that reach? Yes. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, 5. It will split 50-50 at the splitter, but the belt speed will limit the flow. So for manifolds, mostly use Mark V through the through line and then Mark I side spurs. Okay. I'm changing these belt speeds, by the way. It's just what was in my hotbar. So yes, we'll go with... So you just use a Mark V the entire way. But if the max is 300, then I really only need to use a 4, right? Now that's the smart splitter, right? Oh, I love that it's remembering the direction that these things are meant to face. So many times you have to spin them around 6 times. Are you facing the wrong way? You're facing the wrong way. Right. So, splitter coming in from the back. And what did I do wrong up here? Mark 1. What is wrong up here? Maybe this is just wrong? I guess I had that one wrong. Beautiful. And then we'll do the belt. One, two, three, four, five. I like these new ceiling belt poles. Ceiling mount. Conveyor ceiling mount. I like them. You forget how quick it is to build in this game? Yeah. Especially after playing Minecraft for a couple hours and seeing how little I got done on renovating the keep and then moving on to Minecraft. This is what I don't miss about this game, is this constant back and forth. I really want to set myself up with some basic like constructor, splitter, merger kind of like blueprints. I think that will save me a lot of time. It's just not the most exciting thing to build on stream. Okay, I think that's everything underneath hooked up. So now we have the fun job of removing all of this nonsense. As our inventory builds up with all the crap that is on these belts that should not have been. And I know I could delete more than one thing at a time, but I want to be very careful here. I don't delete something I do not want to delete, so we're just going to go through it carefully. I'm going to leave this here. No, not this one. The middle part. The middle part we're going to leave, I think. I've got an idea. Maybe we can turn it into like a glass case or something like that and send the quartz upstairs. Weirdly, these aren't showing up. It's strange how it doesn't highlight the belt sometimes. As a rule, I don't clip vertical lifts to the floor holes. I build through them. It reduces object count, and they don't always display correctly on a dedicated server. Oh, yeah. I can see that being a bit tricky. I'm not really worried about object count. I don't think I'm going to hit that. I'm not playing at that level, I don't think. All right, I'm going to leave you there just so I know what I've disconnected. And then we're going to put in all of you guys. Okay, so that's half of them. I'm just going to make sure they all have the right recipe. I didn't realize they were underclocked. Okay. Did I have that written down? Maybe I did. If I did, I forgot it. So, got 93.33%. That's why it's at 21, because the default is what? 37, 22.5. So I wanted 35. And that's probably specifically for the aluminum. So 35 silica. Okay. So yeah, 21 raw quartz, 35 silica. So those numbers are still right. It's just I didn't have the 35 done. Okay. Yep. Okay. So I'm just going to double check these 10. You're good. You're good. They wouldn't have anything in them that's incorrect. And there's silica, so I guess I had them painted white. Probably this swatch. Looks about right. Okay, so what I'll do is I'm just going to pull this guy down. Now, this is the conveyor lift Mark II for overflow. I don't know why it's only a Mark II, but we'll figure out where the floor hole would be for you. Right on the seam, I'm guessing. And I'll just remove that. Mark II. Probably fine, but I'm going to redo it anyway. And oh, I should have checked that splitter. Hold on. Let's check this guy. Quartz to the left, nothing in the center, and overflow. So we'll just do an overflow splitter here. But it will switch it, so it'll be quartz, raw quartz. I've made that mistake before, saying quartz crystal by mistake, and then you really like wonder why your last machine isn't working. Overflow. This is a terrible icon. They need to change that. Done. Okay. So this has been all belted the other way. So that's all set up. Are they all powered? They're all powered. So what they're missing is their top parts. Right. Well, I can do this part right now. Now that I know what I'm doing. Oh, I should have waited to delete the belt. Whoops. Let's make my life a little bit easier. There's the overflow. Maybe scooch along here. It's going to look a lot nicer. Mentioned earlier about sharing blueprints. Would you keep that to a supporter reward? Yeah, I would do that all through Patreon. I would do the blueprints through Patreon. Well, I would share them. I guess it would defeat the purpose if I did it only on Patreon. I could do it on the Discord. The problem is I can't put anything, like I can put stuff on the Discord is technically behind a support paywall, which is fine. But then like, and I guess the same problem is with Patreon. Like if someone supports on Patreon and they get the file, I mean, if they really wanted to, they could just share the file with other people. So like that doesn't really doesn't really differentiate any from putting the file on Discord. Because if I put the file on Discord for like blueprints and stuff, then anybody that supports, whether it's my Patreon, my Citadel Cafe Patreon, or whether it's a Twitch supporter, even a gift sub, you know, would have access to that, right? And I like that idea better that way, because that way people can choose, if they're kind enough to support, people can choose the way that they want to support, right? All right, so that is a way cleaner looking setup. We can maybe even move the wall in, you know, if we really wanted to. Because that to me is a lot of room. I don't know what we would do over here. Maybe there's some belt work and things we have to run from upstairs. Like there's a bunch of different things we could do here. I'm probably going to change that into something else. That will have to be creatively done a different time. Now these are all doing silica? Yes. Check these 10 machines. And it looks like they send their stuff up the middle. So let's get them to be the right color. I'll paint the machines last, that way I know that I've done them. I can't paint this? Really? That's weird. Must be an error. Yeah, why is it making all green? Huh. Back to white. So this is the other silica. There's 2 silica lines that come up. I never thought I should have made my belt color default white before I started this. A bunch of stuff I don't have in my workflow because I've not played a lot in Update 7. Not a bad idea. Level 1 supporter reward server, level 2 get your blueprints. I don't know if I'd put the blueprints behind like a level 2. It would be the other way around. Server would be... But that's the thing is like, I mean, I already have the Minecraft server. So I guess under the same flag, like what's it called on Patreon when they're a Minecraft server supporter? There's a Minecraft founder and then there's somebody else. It's just, maybe it's just a Minecraft server level. But I could change the name of that to be like access to community servers, which means if there was a Satisfactory server, we could have that. We had one for a while. I think people just lost interest, and so I stopped paying for it. Well, that is way tidier. I quite like that. I don't like these walls. But I like the look of that. I don't know whether I would want to do a wall like super close here. Yeah, like it feels a little bit tight maybe. We'll have to see, because it does free up some space on the other side. Once we get this sorted over here, if I can remove this and put a wall there, that would be nice. Because if I need room for these things, then I'm going to want to wall this off between... Whoa, no. Accidental hypertube was bound to happen at some point. I forget the names I've heard tell of this mythical Minecraft server people who play on it. It must be just the rarest of the rare. Infinity Cove member and then community founder. Right. So what we could do to change that would be, instead of Infinity Cove member, it could be community server member, right? And then on top of that, or in that spiel on Patreon, could be Infinity Cove Minecraft server and then Satisfactory server. Okay. I think that's where I'm going to call it for today. I've got to run, and I don't think I need to do the other half of this on stream. Like, this is just a bunch of the same repetitive work over and over again. But I like the change. Like, I like the change here. The look is good. I'm happy with the way that looks compared to this. I think it's a lot clearer what's going on. We'll probably still change this a little bit. I think I might change this to face the other way. I guess maybe that's already facing the way that it can. But we could do something squirrely with this, where I could put it down under the ground and then have it pop up, like maybe here and here. Unless the power would be in the way. Power would technically be in the way, but we could work around that a little bit. Because it would be kind of cool, rather than having a big pillar in your face here, it would be cool if, like, right here there was one, and then right here there was one going up. That would look cool, I think. Yeah, the founder level is 2 Minecraft servers. There's a creative server, and then there's the regular server, the survival server. But anyway, where it's dark seems like a good point to kind of back off. We're about halfway through fixing the belt error here in the Quartz factory. That will then get our crystal oscillators back up and running, which is good. We managed to check the bauxite. I have not refreshed my mind on the aluminum setup over here, which is bananas. It looks cool. I remember making it and liking it, but I have not refreshed my brain on the numbers. I have not gotten that far in my new spreadsheet yet. So we will do more of that. Look for a potential Discord stream as well, as I do more admin stuff and the slower part of this game. I'd like to try and stream that on Discord. I'm going to do another test of that soon. Thanks so much for hanging out this afternoon, folks. Really appreciate it. Y'all are awesome. Good chats. Appreciate the subs and the gift subs. If you got a gift sub, make sure you join the Discord, and let's talk more about server rewards and some different tiers that we can do for Patreon. If people are interested, I'm absolutely interested in offering more reasons and opportunity for people to play together and join the community. So we can absolutely do that. The Town Hall is the channel in the Discord to put information in those situations. Or regarding that kind of stuff. So please do that. DM me with any questions you have. Totally cool. Joel Duggan on Twitter, Joel Duggan on Instagram. I'm very easy to find online. JoelDuggan.com, links to my other podcasts. You can find all of that very easily on the interwebs. I'll be back tomorrow, 1 o'clock Atlantic, UTC minus 3 hours. I did start early today. I may start early tomorrow. I don't know. It just depends on how much I want to play. It's supposed to be nice out tomorrow, so I'm probably going to barbecue. I might want to start a little bit early, but just keep an eye on Twitter. I let people know, and then give Discord a heads up usually. So, yeah, I'll see you all tomorrow. Thanks ever so much. We are going to try to pass you along to somebody playing Satisfactory, or barring that, it'll be somebody else probably playing Minecraft. But let's just see. Probably Total Eclipse, as long as they are still streaming. Fantastic content creator on the Satisfactory side. Yes, looks like they are still live. Give my best to Total Eclipse. I'll be in the chat for a little bit. Be kind. Enjoy the rest of your Satisfactory Saturday. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.